Okay. Okay, hopefully Justin's going to overcome his technical issue, but I'm going to start the call. We're a minute past. So hello everyone, heartfelt welcome to all of you joining us today for this exciting phase of Stake Wars. I'm Jim, the head of ecosystem at Subspace, and I'm thrilled to have you all with us. As we embark on this next chapter, I want to extend a special thanks to each one of you. Your dedication, enthusiasm, and insights have been the driving force behind our journey so far. Today, we gather not just as individuals, but as a community united by a shared vision for the future of blockchain technology. This call marks the kickoff of Phase 3 of Stake Wars, Harvesting Resources, a crucial milestone where we delve deeper into the potential of our network. We've structured this call to provide valuable insights, updates, and interactive sessions. We'll start by recognizing the stars among us, the community members and ambassadors who have shown exceptional support and contributions. It's your relentless spirit that has brought us to this point. Following that, we'll delve into the current state of the network. I will provide an update on Gemini 3G and Nova, setting the stage for our next steps. We will discuss the pivotal role of nominators in Phase 3, underscoring their importance and benefits in our ecosystem. We'll then have a unique opportunity to meet some of our standout operators. This session is designed to give you insights into their experiences, strategies, and, we hope, will give our audience an idea of who they may be considering nominating to. Next, Emil will lead a run-through of the nomination process, followed by Mark, who will introduce the new nomination features of the staking interface. Nazar will then trigger the runtime upgrade that will enable nomination, live and direct on the call. We'll wrap up the call with an extended open Q&A session where you can bring your questions and thoughts to the forefront. As we proceed, remember, your engagement and feedback are invaluable. Let's make this session interactive, informative, and above all, a stepping stone towards a more decentralized and inclusive future. Thank you once again for joining us. Let's embark on this journey together and make Phase 3 of Stake Wars a resounding success. Without further ado, let's ask Justin to kick us off with some well-deserved community shout-outs.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Jim. As always, with our project, community is our number one focus, and we have noticed a handful, more than a handful, really, giant bundle of community members and ambassadors that have really been going above and beyond lately in their support with the community, answering questions, and just ensuring that everyone is up and running on farming. Some of those users are Wezel, Sparks, Zoranox, Punky is Hungry. We have Sparks 60, In Out IK, Quinn, Jin Huan Ming, Spirit, and Chassis. And obviously, I'm sure there's some people I've missed here. Those people as well. Please, thank you so much for all of your help in the community lately. Without your dedication and support, there would be hundreds of farmers who would not be up and running. And your help obviously helps us out in the team as well, as it allows us some more flexibility in how we can execute. Obviously, with any community-based project, support is one of the big questions, especially as we continue to reach larger and larger scales. So once again, thank you all. Additionally, we have some ambassadors who have been really going above and beyond in the support area. Now, our ambassador program overall has been doing great work, but I'm really focusing on community support here. So Dragon P, William, Yomek, Clogs, Lazy Penguin, Nako Turk, Urali. We have seen all of your support as well and your help within the community. Once again, your help is absolutely vital, and I just want you all to know that it does not get missed by us. And we continue to look forward to working with everybody and seeing all of your amazing contributions to Subspace and support.
Thanks, Justin. Absolutely. You're all superstars. I know we haven't covered everyone there, but we see you in the community and we are so appreciative and grateful for everything you do for us. I know we've got some guys on the call as usual today, that we gave a particular a name check to there. So thanks from everyone on the team. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the state of the network now. And as we stand today, the Gemini 3G network has shown remarkable growth and stability. We're proud to announce that we're currently at more than 8,600 nodes with an impressive 5 petabytes of space pledged. No mean feat, the increase in decay value and the more difficult plotting. This robust participation underlines the trust and commitment of our community in our vision. Shifting our focus to Nova, the state of our operator network is equally encouraging, with 149 operators registered and a substantial 311,000 TSSC staked. Amazing. It's clear that our network is not only expanding, but also gaining significant traction in terms of engagement and time invested. Our team has achieved significant milestones in enhancing network integrity and functionality. We've updated the domain runtime and node software, effectively preventing duplicate registrations. Additionally, we've tackled the challenge of equivocation errors head-on, ensuring a more robust and error-resistant system. Our network stability and performance have been remarkable. Despite setting expectations to the contrary, we haven't encountered any major issues requiring significant alterations or resets. This success is a testament to our exceptional engineering team and the dedication of our operators. The network has been handling test loads with remarkable ease, showcasing our preparedness for larger scale operations. And we will continue to test in order to identify potential bottlenecks and limitations, ensuring our readiness for any scenario. As we delve into phase 3 of Stake Wars, it's important to understand its significance in the wider context. We've previously set up the environment in phase 0, moved incentivized testnet rewards from 3F to 3G in phase 1, and onboarded operators in phase 2. Now, phase 3, harvesting resources, marks a crucial step in enhancing network participation and functionality by welcoming any token holder who wishes to become a nominator to the fray. Their role is integral to strengthening our decoupled execution with crypto economic security. There are no specific rules of engagement for our nominators. If the protocol allows it, the activity is game. I hope I don't regret that statement. A key element of this phase is the role of nominators. They are crucial as they provide a necessary support to operators, helping to secure and stabilize the network. Their nominated stake is added to an operator's self-stake and amplifies their chance of producing bundles, and therefore earning transaction fees. There is a symbiotic flywheel of success relationship between the two classes of network citizens. Their participation brings a new level of dynamism to the network's economy. For nominators, this is an opportunity not just to contribute to the network's health, but also to earn rewards for their active involvement. Remember, there is a dedicated prize pool of 0.6% of total supply for Stake Wars. On mainnet, the share of the transaction fees nominators earn from operators will, of course, be real SSC, which is something to think on. Lastly, let's touch upon the aspect of advertising services. This is an open invitation to our community members to promote their services, fostering a vibrant ecosystem where everyone can contribute and benefit. There is a dedicated channel for this activity in Discord. Maybe someone can drop the link in the chat there for us. Our only ask is that you contain your promotional activities to said channel. In conclusion, the current state of our network is strong and we're making strides in the right direction. With the enthusiastic participation of our community in phase 3, we're confident that we will continue to see growth, innovation, and success. Looking ahead, we're excitedly gearing up for a significant milestone with the upcoming launch of Gemini 3H. Our mainnet beta is scheduled for February the 14th, 2024, and this launch will mark a new era for our network, opening up unprecedented opportunities and possibilities. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Let's keep pushing the boundaries and shaping the future of decentralized technology together. And on that note, it's the perfect time for the prospective nominators out there to meet a small cross-section of our operators. We would love to have as many operators as possible join us up on stage today, but we do have to limit our time here because we've got quite a lot to get through on the agenda. Wesel, I'm just giving you your 30-second warning. I'm going to invite you up on stage now, actually. So this section, as I mentioned a moment ago, we are all for operators promoting their services to our nominators. As I mentioned, there's a symbiotic relationship. We do expect to see competition, and we are happy to see promotion, advertisement. Why you should nominate to a particular operator in the operators nominators channel. That's what that channel is for specifically. Our first operator we've invited up on stage is Wesel, someone who is a wonderful champion of the project. We love you on the team, Wesel. Probably not the right forum to admit this, but yeah, do you want to take it away and give us a little introduction to who you are and what you're about?
Thank you, Jim. I'm sure a lot of people do recognize me because I am pretty active in the Discord channels. I've been plotting and farming Subspace from the first incentivized testnet, and I've been involved with crypto since Bitcoin was $100. 2 years ago, I heard about Chia. The idea of using storage to farm crypto really appealed to me. I sort of went all in and ended up with almost 3 petabytes of hard drives. Although the Chia investment is yet to pay off, it was in a Chia Discord that I heard about Subspace. I was immediately hooked on the idea. At first, I was able to use my leftover hardware, but once the plot size restrictions were lifted, I guess I went all in on Subspace as well. I'm currently plotting and farming with 10 different PCs with 180 terabytes of space. It's been a lot of fun trying to figure out how to best optimize my farm. With a significant investment in hardware and a decent amount of TSSC as a Subspace farmer, it made sense to pursue being an operator. I like to isolate things as much as possible on my network, so I have a dedicated machine as a VM server. My primary focus is on high uptime. It's built on an AMD 7950X processor with 192 gigs of RAM and 4 Western Digital Black SSD drives and a RAID 10 array. It's a bit of an overkill. All servers and anything that an internet connection relies on is connected to a UPS. In addition, I have Tesla Solar and 4 Powerwall batteries. The VM server has 2 Subspace nodes, one of which is used for farming and the other is an operator. The VM is never more than 20% utilized. Any Subspace software updates are usually installed within a few hours of the release. Because I work from home, I'm in a good position to make sure things are always running smoothly. My operator node currently has over 5,000 TSSC staked and a 2% nominator tax. My operator ID is 145. Thank you.
Thanks, Wesel, and thanks for that wonderful insight into your rig there. It sounds very comprehensive, is how I'm going to characterize it. That's a great introduction to the section. Thanks, Wesel. Okay, we've got Duser. I know we didn't do a mic check, so are you there, Duser? Can we hear you?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Do you want to take it away?
Firstly, I'm French, so I have a bad accent. I know it. I'm so sorry about it. I'm working in IT since 10 years. I'm a freelance. I'm working at home too. I am owning a virtualization stack. My validator is actually on it. I'm a specialist into deployment and monitoring. That's why I'm providing monitoring stuff for everyone. I want to keep it free. So if you need it, like we can work together. I have a bunch of space since I'm doing Kia too. I'm into crypto since 3 years now. Was mining, then doing tooling for mining, then farming, doing tooling for farming. And now I'm validating on some Cosmos network, especially Nebelu and Nolus. What to say? I'm kind of new on Subspace and Substrate. That's kind of challenging for me because I don't know the node architecture, and that's why I want to provide a monitoring tool about it. And that's it.
Okay, wonderful to say. We love a French accent. You'll hear Marcus speak shortly. But again, thanks for the introduction. Obviously, we're seeing a pattern forming here of guys interested in Chia. There's obviously a crossover there. It's great to hear your interest in Substrate as well. Thanks, Dusa, for coming up on stage. Okay, I'm not sure how to say this. I'm going to say Kirill USD. Let's see if I can invite you up on stage.
Looks like Carol just mentioned that he's having some microphone issues, so he may not be able to participate at the moment.
Okay, that's no problem. The 6th, let me see if I can find the 6th in the audience.
Hello, everyone. I am also French. So I started my journey on the crypto a few years ago. I was very interested in Chia, bought some hardware, but was in the late game, so didn't make it profitable. Now, when I started following Subspace, I think it was in Gemini 2. B, I think, the second incentivized testnet. So I started by farming, and since I've accumulated some TSSC, I started my operator node. My operator node is on a dedicated server on hosting services because my router network is already full with the plotting with my farmers. So the hardware is near AMD Ryzen 9 5900X, 12 cores, 32 gigabyte on memory, and 1 terabyte of NVMe disks. I also put monitoring so that people can access it if they tag me. I just need to find how to secure it so that not everybody can see it, but it's already available. It will monitor the CPU, memory, and also the bundles produced so that you can check that the bundles are working and that everything is working as expected. I think the people that like Wesley, I think I'm working also from home. I'm a sysops, so I can update pretty fast my server, and the tax nominator is 1%. So that's it.
What's your ID, your nominator ID?
Yes, my nominator ID is 99. So
Memorable number.
yes.
And sorry, of course, I meant operator ID, not nominator ID.
Yes,
Operator ID for nominators to use. Okay, very competent sysops. That's what we're, that's definitely, again, a recurring theme we see amongst our operators. Thanks for that insight into your rig as well. That's wonderful. Okay, I'm going to invite Inutik up on the stage. Hey, Inutik. You're muted.
Hi guys, thanks. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
First of all, thanks to team for this opportunity and great project, by the way. My name is Alexander, aka Inutik. I'm with Subspace project from the beginning of stage 3, Gemini before incentivized testnet phase, and do not participate in Chia, by the way. Okay, in the beginning, my first nodes, aka farmers, was on virtual servers, but now all my farmers, I have 4 in work and 2 more on the way, located on my personal dedicated bare metal servers. For Stake Wars, I bought special new server for work as operator node with latest Ryzen CPU and DDR5 memory. Also, it has 1 gigabit internet, power protection with UPS, and always uptime. And I check it manually every day, and also use Grafana for 27 monitoring with Telegram alerts. By the way, no alerts till this time. And in case of any problems, I have 1 reserve operation node to which I can switch promptly in case of some problems. So what I want to say about this new stage? Please don't sit with your coins. Nominate. Please help Subspace to evolve and perform the stress test. And also, this will gain you new TCC for nominating. So feel free to nominate coins to any operator you like. And by the way, my number is 127, and I have minimum stake of 0.1 TCC and minimum commission of 1%. That's all. Thanks, and please nominate. Don't sit.
Indeed, yes. Please nominate. Don't sit on your tokens. Why sit on tokens when you could be earning a passive income by nominating to one of our wonderful operators? Was your number 127, Inutik?
Yeah, 1%.
Yeah, okay. It broke up a little bit for me. I just wanted to make sure that people heard that. And while we're talking about operator IDs, Douceur has realised that he didn't mention his, so I will give it a shout out. Douceur is 143. I'm really pleased to hear about the thought and kind of redundancy and resiliency that guys have been building into their operator infrastructure. It's very interesting insight for the team. I'm sure that this video is going to be rewatched a few times internally. Okay, so we couldn't bring Kuro USD up, so we're going to bring Supermoon. Let's see if this is going to work. Thanks, Inutik.
Hey, good evening, because it's late here. Hey, this is Supermoon from China. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm the only girl here who's speaking. So thanks for the opportunity. As for me and my operator number 115, I would like to talk a little bit to draw your guys' attention. So actually, we are a small team in China, Crater Labs. So we are absolutely a Web3 team, who focus on the WPO-based technical setup and maintenance. So we have the rich experience in such projects deployment from since 2018, so already 5 years. So we have our own machine, and also we have some, very nice tier 3, I think more than 50 data centers partners around the whole Asia. Okay, so the first site on Subspace is 2 years ago, and we started its background and some initial papers. And we said, wow, it's a nice project, so we just decided to participate in. So from that on, we find the community is very active and amazing. So I'm so glad to be here, to see the Subspace has been to hit an outstanding milestone. And as one of the operators, number 115, I call out your attention to stay on our operator to continue to contribute and also earn together to the future. Hey, thanks. I think it's a short and brief introduction.
That's quite all right. I think you hit all the important points there. So your ID 115.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm Supermoon from Crater Labs and also from China.
Okay, great advert, absolutely. And so and you said you've got like you're in data centers spread geographically as well, if I was following along.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's whole Asia. I think we worked with more than 50 data centers, like Hong Kong, Singapore, Korea, Japan. Yeah, because we believe in decentralization. Also, many cities in China.
Excellent, and yeah, wonderful, and thanks for the feedback. We know we've got we know we have a great community, so it's wonderful to hear that feedback. Sorry, Supermoon, I cut you off there.
Yeah, and also for the last thing, I want to thank everyone here because most of them already helped me in the community. So I get familiar with, I think, some of them. Yeah.
Absolutely, we do have a wonderful community, and we have this lovely situation where this collaboration and assistance, which is why we knew it was long overdue to give some guys a shout out. Many on the call, of course, today. Okay, thank you, Supermoon.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. ID 115. Okay, we are very slightly ahead of schedule.
Oh, I'm on
so,
by because I'm a girl, right?
no, your ID 115. Is that right?
Yeah, my ID 115, and welcome to talk with me in the community. Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Thanks,
Okay, we are.
Jim.
Thank you, Supermoon. Okay, so we are very slightly ahead of schedule, actually. So I'm going to invite Andy. I'm kind of surprising Andy here with this because I did say that we would have a limited number, but I'm going to, Andy, if you're ready, I've invited you on stage. Oh, it's jumped straight up. Okay. Andy, how are you?
Always ready.
Always ready. Great, great. Let's hope that's true for your operator as well, of course. Do you want to take it away?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, for the opportunity. So, yeah, hey guys, my name is Andy. I live in Europe, in Austria, and I run the operators 100 and 203. So, I have also a quite long history with Subspace. So, I discovered the project while I was working as a research analyst for a venture capital group. And I was very impressed, yeah, after I read the white paper. And unfortunately, we were too late for a private investment back then. So I looked around for alternatives, yeah, to get involved into the project. So I started farming on Gemini 2A, I think was the first time I entered. And yeah, I have been active in every testnet since then. And yeah, I represent a group of 6 engineers, which are located across the world. So my colleagues are in Portugal, Canada, Taiwan, and the Netherlands. And yeah, so far we also onboarded, I think, about 20 farmers from our personal network. So we spread the word and try to yeah, make some advertisement for the project, yeah, in our groups, yeah, that we are involved with. And yeah, so in terms of the operators that we run, we only use bare metal servers. And yeah, we try also to spread the locations of the servers worldwide. So some guys are running their equipment at home. We also have some hosted facilities. And yeah, to ensure the maximum availability of the systems, we have also developed our own monitoring tools, yeah, that we utilize on our servers. And yeah, compared to other whales in the network, we are a tiny shrimp, but I think, yeah, the biggest problem of crypto currently is also this increasing centralization, where large pools taking over the entire network, like we see it with Lido on Ethereum. So I really love that Subspace give the smaller groups the opportunity to bootstrap their own operators and their own systems. And that's really the way to go, in my opinion. Yeah. So our operators don't have a minimum stake, and we offer a 1% operator fee. And yeah, join operator 100 and operator 203. And let's get this amazing project into the top 10 where it belongs. Yeah. So thank you.
Okay, well, I can't say fairer than that, Andy. You've managed to turn it into a Subspace advert as well as an advert for yourself there. Excellent. So you're from Austria and you work in a distributed team. So Subspace are globally distributed as well. So that definitely resonates with me. And again, it's nice to hear. You know, you're obviously experienced and competent at running infrastructure. I can tell by the way that you've got things set up, and you know, this focus on monitoring that's a thread through all of these meet the operator bits we've done is really just wonderful to see. Maybe there's an opportunity where we can all collaborate on setting up a monitoring stack or something. I know that at the moment things are competitive, but a little further down the line, we're going to have the end game phase where the pressure will be off. We're going to the competition stops essentially, and we'll all be able to kind of attack bugs or issues, rough edges on the protocol, and things like building up resources to help operators on mainnet. So thank you very much, Andy.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers. Okay. Well, I'm super pleased with how that went. Thank you to all of our operators and meet the operators. Maybe we have to run this again, actually. Thank you, Justin's summarised everyone's ID. So don't worry if you fluffed getting your ID out there. Okay. So the next section we've got is obviously we've been talking to our operators, and you may be wondering, how am I going to nominate to these wonderful operators? So Emil's going to give us a run through. Emil's going to go with a kind of a lower level nuts and bolts of how at the protocol level nomination works. And then afterwards, Mark's going to give us a run through of how we've made that easy and approachable and accessible for everyone. So Emil, if you're ready. Oh, I can see he's ready. He's got his screen share going already.
Yeah. Oh, everyone had their amazing presentations, you guys. Yeah, I'm really proud that we have so many operators willing to speak up on a stage. All right. So as Jim mentioned, I'm going to show you how the nomination works, and I'm going to show you the kind of canonical Substrate way of nominating an operator using Polkadot.js interface. But right after my demo, I'm going to pass the mic to Mark, and he's going to show some features, like the same features using Subspace token interface. And you will essentially see why we've got a Subspace product team, why this team exists, and how they're working really, really hard to make your experience so much better. But as I mentioned, first, let's complete the nomination using Polkadot.js interface. A couple of things which would be vital to you as a nominator. Your available token balance, of course, and how it compares to the minimum nominator stake, operator status, and nominator stacks. So we'll walk over all of this together. Of course, each nominator have to have sufficient number of tokens, and it has to be more than the specified minimum nominator stake, which is set by the operator. So how do you query it? So how do you find out what are the available operators on the domain, and how do you find out what are the nomination tax, minimum nominator stake, etc. So you go to Polkadot.js, go to the developer, and query the change state. You select domains under the selected state query, and we're gonna call operators. And we will exclude the option to make sure we get the full list of available operators, and we're gonna run the query. And you will see here is the large kind of table, list of the results available. But basically what it says is that there is the first operator with the ID 0. Here is their signing key, and here is their minimum nominator stake. And remember, because of the system used, you have to just to do the calculation a little bit. So there's going to be 18 zeros at the end. So this number means that the minimum nominator stake set by the operator with the ID 0 is 100 TSSC. So it's pretty steep. And you'll also be paying attention to the nominator stacks, which is set to 5%. And the third thing, which is really important to take into account and pay attention to, is the status. So as you can see, the status of this operator is slashed. So even if you try to nominate this operator, it's actually not going to work because this operator is no longer active on the domain. Let's try to scroll down a little bit and to see if we can find any active operator. And yeah, the operator with the ID 1 who has like this signing key, who also set 9, 12, who also pretty steep minimum nominator stake. And then they have a nominator stack set to 5%. But as you can see, their status is registered. So indeed, if you have more tokens than the specified minimum nominator stake, and you are happy with the nomination tax that you'll be getting, and if the status is registered, that means that you can nominate this operator. Let's see if we can find some operator with the a bit lower nominator stake. And yeah, we can see the next one. So it's the operator with the ID 4. And as you can see, like here, the minimum nominator stake is set to 0.2, I think. Yeah, 0.2 TSSC, which seems really reasonable to me. The nomination tax is also 5%, and the status is registered. So this will be the perfect example of the operator that you can choose, especially if you have a lower TSSC balance on the wallet. Okay, so let's say that you decided to nominate the operator with the ID 4. How do you do it? Once again, through the Polkadot.js interface, you go under the developer, but this time you'll go under the extrinsics. You will select your account that you want to be nominating with, and at the moment I have 31 TSSC available on this account. You'll go under the mains, and you'll be following the function register operator. Oh, sorry. Of course not. Nominate operator. And here you're gonna provide the operator ID. So in this case, the operator ID that we've chosen was 4, and the how much stake you're willing to put. So any number bigger than the 0.2 TSSC will work in this time. But let's say I want to nominate this operator with the 1 TSSC. So I'm typing 1, and I'm gonna put 18 zeros because the type of the field is U128. I think that's about right. So as soon as you put the operator ID and the amount, you can submit the transaction. And then you can click on sign and submit. It's not gonna work right now because the nomination is not made available just yet, but it's gonna start working really soon. So that's the way it works through the Polkadot.js interface. Did I forget to mention anything really important? I think that's mostly it. Yeah. So Mark, I'm handing the mic and the screen over to you, so you can show how the nomination works at the staking Subspace interface.
Awesome. I'm going to share my screen. Everyone see my screen?
Yeah,
Yep.
we can see our screen.
Awesome, perfect. So change that we made for allowing nominators, basically now anyone, when you're on the operator list, you see you have the action button next to every operators. And so you can select an operator based on, for example, the minimum nominator stakes and the nominator tax, and choose what's the most advantageous for you. And then add funds or withdraw funds if you had any. A bit like Emil, you showed, it won't work right now because it's not, we haven't allowed it. But if I switch to the DevNet, I can actually test it, where I do have currently, I have 327 on testnet. So I could add, for example, 100. Approve the transaction. And it will increase the funds and stake of that operators. We can see the total amount of nominators for each of operators now. And when we click, we have the details of each nominators and what they have, the funds they have staked, so their percentage of share of the whole nominators' funds and stake. Those are pretty much the change we added.
That's so much easier than what I just showed. Yeah, and just to maybe, I see that there's questions coming that do you have to use both interfaces? No, you can choose one of the interfaces. If you like the Polkadot.js more, it's up to you. Of course, you can use Polkadot.js, but you can only use, of course, you can choose to use the native stake interface, which Mark just showed, and that's going to be totally enough and sufficient to do the nomination. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, Mark.
Yeah, it's just a more user-friendly, I guess, the staking interface for sure.
Thanks for that, Mark. So internally, I'd say that Mark is one of our superstars on our team. what he's been just seeing that the updated staking interface. Those of us who have been running an operator have been following along on the journey. It is a tool that's mainly Mark working on it. Obviously, most of our engineering effort is heading or is allocated towards getting the protocol feature complete, so we can launch mainnet as soon as possible. So yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Mark and his wonderful work on the staking interface. That looks really good. It's come along. I know it's just pretty buttons, and the functionality that it actually works under the bonnet is the most important. But it looks like it's going to be a treat to use. I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Right. So the next section we've got is well, actually I'm going to hold for a second. So I'm going to reiterate that we have an amount of time at the end of this call for Q&A. So I've already canvassed or asked for questions from the audience. It looks like we don't have a great deal. We ran out of question time last time, so we must be doing a really great job. Either everyone really understands what's going on, or nobody gets it at all. I'm guessing that it's the former rather than the latter there. So I'm going to make another call for questions in the chat, which we're going to go to. But I'm going to invite Nazar up on stage just in case he wants to talk us through anything, because the next part of the call is going to be a live update. Now, are we doing a runtime upgrade, or are we submitting a transaction to enable nomination today, Nazar?
This time is a runtime upgrade. We have a constant in the protocol which defines how many nominators can be added to a single operator, and it was set to 0 all this time. And today we will do runtime upgrade that will set it to a number higher than that. It's 256. And it should take just a few seconds, and I will send a link to the block in which transaction went through so everyone can see it. It's currently waiting for the block to be produced. Let's wait a couple more blocks to make sure it's not reorged. And it should be already enabled. I'm just checking through blocks to see which one it went through. Yeah, here we go. It's block 536,563. This one to be exact. So good luck, everyone.
Thanks, Nazar. So before everyone runs off to nominate their coins, yeah, we're going to take some questions from the audience. I'm not sure we've got another live transaction or runtime upgrade to do for Stake Wars, unless something goes wrong. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do for Adrenaline. I'm going to have to take up base jumping or something like that, I think. But another successful live on air fundamental network change. As Nazar's mentioned, it's upgraded the number of nominators that operators can have. So we've had a few comments in the in Discord about why my nomination has not worked, and of course the reason is because we haven't enabled nomination until right now. So yeah, consider who you want to nominate to, who you want to trust your precious TSSC with, and follow the instructions. I'm going to use the staking interface. There's nothing wrong with Polkadot.js, and if you've got like some sort of integration with it at some other level, I could understand why you may want to use it. Maybe you just like seeing the nuts and bolts. But we certainly have a more approachable way to become a nominator. Okay, so anyone on the team who's able to help out and add question marks to questions, I'm scrolling up the chat. I'm going to try and find the first one. Let's see. This is great radio, of course, me umming and ahhing trying to find questions.
And then maybe just one more thing to focus our attention to. Like as Nazar just hinted, like he set the number of nominators for each operator to 256. What does it mean? It means that there is a limit on how many nominators one operator can have. So, and as soon as one operator gets 256 nominators, that's it for this operator. So for the further nomination for this operator will not work. So once again, to reiterate, each operator only can have 256 nominators.
Thanks for that clarification, Emil. I imagine that parameter will be different from mainnet. This is our test net, of course. So the first question I found is from Lazy Penguin, one of our apprentice ambassadors. How long will this phase last? 2 weeks? According to the calendar, phase 3, the final frontier, starting by December the 20th. Yes. Okay. So that's a great question, Penguin. So you're actually mixing up two schedules there. So phase 3 of the incentivized testnet is scheduled to start on December the 20th, and you're quite right. There's an overlap because phase 3 of Stake Wars is scheduled to run from 4 weeks. Sorry, for 4 weeks from today. Which brings us out past that date. And of course, we can run 2 networks at once. We had an overlap between 3F and 3G. We are constantly monitoring the state of the network. And you're quite right. We are aiming to release the next version of the network, Gemini 3H, around the 20th. I believe we're on track for that, but anything can happen. You know, it's a very difficult thing to estimate. You know, we've got a lot of engineering work required to go into having the features ready for Gemini 3H. But yes, to answer your question, phase 3 of the incentivized testnet, which is heralding Gemini 3H, is still scheduled for the 20th of December. Pending any updates on or delays. And yes, I think it's the 27th based on our Stake Wars schedule. So there is a slight overlap. It shouldn't be a problem. Obviously, raise a concern if you're worried about that. Next question, Inutik. Will network be rebooted? So we need to make new plots. Yes. So just talked about Gemini 3H on the horizon. And of course, testnet plots won't work with mainnet. So we know that we've got multiple network resets before we hit mainnet. This is something that we've advertised and lent into since we first announced the Gemini 3 incentivized testnet. It's unique or different to previous networks, which have been restricted to a particular version. The Gemini 3 incentivized testnet runs longer and across multiple networks than ever before. And it's got this accrual model where every week it's running 0.1% of total supply is added to the reward pool. So it's always worth jumping on board and starting your farm. Thanks for the question, Inutik. And as always, thanks for the question, Penguin. That's a relatively easy one. I'm not asking for a difficult one, by the way, but relatively easy one from you today. Quinn, just to confirm that staking page being okay. So Emil's, I think Emil covered this one. The staking page being demonstrated right now, we'll be able to use just that. We don't actually have to go through that developer option on Explorer page. Quite right. And Nazar has answered underneath. Yes, we've taken the heavy lift out of the process with the staking interface that Mark's been working on. Okay, Capybara, another of our community members who comes up with interesting questions. What about Timekeeper or node graphical statistic with geographic mapping future? Okay, interesting. So there is a view on telemetry. Maybe someone will pop it in the chat. You can see a geographical distribution of nodes. I don't think we identify. I'm not even sure if we can. I'm not sure if Nazar wants to speak on this, but I'm not even sure we could identify which node or which nodes are running Timekeeper.
No, we don't really have a parameter whether a particular node is a timekeeper or not in telemetry. I was thinking about adding that, but at the same time, it means that someone will be able to attack them. So right now, they are completely anonymous, and we have no way to kind of prove how many of them there are. But we do run several independent on our end, and we also expect that community members run them as well.
Of course, we'd be very grateful if someone has a fast core they could dedicate to the cause. We'd be very happy to see that. It is important to the health of the network to run a timekeeper to avoid malicious actors being able to run long-range attacks. There's a great section on timekeeping in the Subnomicon. Again, maybe someone will drop the link into the chat explaining what timekeeping is all about. Okay, so the sixth, one of our operators who spoke earlier, some feedback, I think, rather than a question. It will be good if there was a page or tool to list the uptime and the bundles produced for each operator. I agree. So as I mentioned earlier, we have to be efficient about how we deploy our resources. We have a finite amount of engineering time available. We would love to see community efforts. I know I say it every time, but if anyone out there would like to ideate on how a tool like that might work, or the RPC calls required to make something like that work, please do reach out. But yeah, great feedback. We can feed that in and add it to a feature list. Thanks, the sixth. Okay, Wesel. Similar vein, I would love to hear about an operator performance dashboard. Okay, and a GPU plotter. I'm not sure we have any update on that. I know that it's become something that's slowly gathering momentum in the chat. So my understanding is that we see a future with a GPU plotter in it, but again, we have to concentrate on what's going to get us to mainnet. And a GPU plotter may be nice to have. I'm sure someone will correct me if I've misread the situation. Thanks, Wesel. I saw Ivan, one of our lead ambassadors, Ivan L. I saw an interesting question in our internal chat, and I wonder if it really works that way. Let's say I have a node and a farmer that is synchronized and has 100% plot. If I copy and transfer all of this to a new PC and run it, they will work in parallel. Kind of, Ivan L. Do not do that until you've heard my explanation of what will happen. If you take a plot and you copy it to another machine, and you farm that plot on two machines, you will get the plot burnt. Because obviously otherwise you'd just be able to create one plot and pop it onto 100 machines without doing all the work required. It would be, I think Nazar would characterize it as a massive hole in the protocol. So what you can do is you can move plots around. Plots are portable. Just be very careful. Make sure there's absolutely no chance you could attach a farmer to two plots at the same time, because that's a great way to have to replot from scratch, because obviously it's an attack vector. Okay, Justin's given us a question. I've seen others ask in Discord, if I participate in farming, then stake that to an operator and they get slashed, will I lose my farmer rewards from incentivized testnet? I would love to be able to talk to whoever asked that, but maybe they'll watch the video. So your incentivized testnet rewards are based on the vote and block rewards that are attributed, that are earned by your wallet. That means we don't count the balance of your TS. We don't count the number of TSSC to calculate how much of the incentivized testnet reward pool you're entitled to. We count the activity on chain that led to you earning that TSSC. There's a subtle difference there between earning the TSSC through rewards, block and vote rewards, and having the TSSC in your wallet. Obviously, it's absolutely fine to transfer. Gemini 3G is, I believe, the first network that we've enabled transfers on. So yeah, absolutely, you can transfer them around. So if you nominate them to a operator, that operator gets slashed, you're penalized along with them. It does not affect your incentivized testnet rewards. So that is a great question, though. Really good. Okay. Why is there a need to limit the number of nominators? I'm sure there's a technical reason. I don't know if anyone, Nazar or anyone in
I can jump in. Yeah, so
Thank you.
that's primarily technical reason. In runtime development, you should have some kind of bound on things. It cannot be unbounded. Otherwise, it can potentially be exploited. So in this case, we had to put a number, and we picked that number for now. It will likely be much higher in the mainnet, but there are also not all things implemented yet in the protocol, and there might be some concerns about like performance and scalability if you have, let's say, 1 million. So it is 256 for now, but it may change in the future.
Thanks, Nazar. Remember, this is a test net. We've set a number of parameters completely different to how things are going to look like on mainnet. For example, having a min stake of 100 TSSC, it would not give us the security, the crypto economic security we'd like to see on mainnet. Okay, Quinn, we're approaching the end, so I'm going to be quick here. So you're asking about the difference between mainnet beta and mainnet omega. So they are different levels of features in the network. So we have mainnet beta would be our MVP to launch mainnet. The protocol is functionally there and secure, and then we're going to add in new features between mainnet beta and mainnet omega. I appreciate that that's very kind of vague. Obviously the next question would be, what are those features? All I can say is watch this space. We will be communicating more information about that as we go along. No, accuses me of sounding like Piers Morgan. Don't think I'm going to forget that one, no. Can we increase our stake too, right? Yes, of course you can. So in case anyone didn't realize, when you nominate, you're actually using the same functions under the bonnet as an operator does. So your add funds and withdraw stake both work for operators and nominators. Up until this point, obviously, that's only worked for operators using the wallet that they registered with. Now, any wallet can nominate to any of our operators. Are you going to provide a Prometheus substrate node exporter documentation for Subspace from Douceur? Douceur, there's a really useful GitHub repository that I need to send you. It's actually mine. It gives you an idea on how to set up Prometheus, how to scrape metrics from the node. I'm not sure what we expose on the operator side of things, but I can certainly give you something to look at to kick your journey off there. No, is it normal I see my operator twice on manage options? No, that might be a bug. So another question there, we may need to take these to Mark. When will staking Subspace tools be updated to allow us to stake? I'm not sure, Mark, is this going out soon? Is the updated interface?
Yeah, right now people can nominate normally. It should work. The question regarding the operator showing twice is a bug. Yeah, like right now we're showing everyone you nominate and the operator if you control one. So once you, as an operator, you're a nominator, so that's why it's showing twice. We'll address this.
Thanks, Mark.
But
okay, thank you. Okay, we are at time, guys. So I can see there are some further questions. We can take those to the chat, the operators channel, or the general, or farmers if they're farming related. Although we've kept on point for operators. So I'd just like to close things down. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we draw this enlightening session to a close, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to each of you for your active participation and unwavering commitment. Today, as we stand at the threshold of phase 3 in our Stake Wars journey, we embrace an exciting new chapter. Our network's strength and future growth hinge on the synergy between operators and nominators. The role of a nominator is not just a position of support, but a cornerstone in the edifice of our decentralized ecosystem. By staking your TSSC with our dedicated operators, you're not just contributing to the network's robustness, You are actively shaping the landscape of a new, decentralized era. Remember, your stake is much more than a mere contribution. It's a powerful statement of trust and confidence in our network's potential. Each TSSC staked is a vote for innovation, a step towards a more inclusive and expansive digital future. Our operators have demonstrated their commitment and capability, building a foundation of trust and reliability. Now, it's your turn to join this endeavour. By nominating these stalwarts, you become a part of our collective mission to redefine the boundaries of blockchain technology. As we move forward, let's not forget the essence of what we're building here. A network that's not only robust and efficient, but also fair and inclusive. Your involvement as nominators is vital in driving us towards this goal. So, I urge you, embrace this opportunity, stake your TSSC with confidence, support our operators. Together, we can build something truly remarkable. A network that embodies the principles of decentralization, security, and shared success. As we conclude, let's carry forward the energy, insights, and inspirations from today into our actions. Let's continue to support, engage, and build. The path ahead is bright, and with your involvement, it's bound to be groundbreaking. Thank you once again for being a part of this incredible journey. Here's to a thriving network, empowered by our collective efforts and united in our vision for a decentralized future. Let's make phase 3 a resounding success. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone. See you around.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good day.